Hello and welcome back to the channel. We are back just before the international break. This just seems like the worst season already. Uh, to the third international break, and we have, I don't know, we have played like 11 games in the season so far, and this really good to feel that there's no international break till the start of till March. And now we have a lot of football in front of us. So this is the Premier League weekend preview. We'll do the United versus Everton game preview later. But this is just the preview of all the games, all the big games that we have this week. And the table at this point of time looks really spicy. I mean, I feel like this is again an Arsenal's title to go for and Man City's titles to chase. And it feels like that already again. But then I also feel Chelsea's amongst those who could come out of nowhere and go for the title. They look far off it, but at this point of time, you just never know. Like Gabriel's got injured on the internet. A lot has happened over the international. Haaland's continued his impeccable run of form. Gabriel has got injured. I think I think who else is got injured? There's one more Arsenal player that got injured. I can't seem to remember who it was. But yeah, of course, Gyökeres is injured already, so it will be again Merino to lead the line. Uh, but then it just looks like I think Timber got injured as well. Yeah, Timber got injured, so I'm not really sure he'll be back or not for this game. But yeah, let's see. I mean, Arsenal is getting more and more injuries, and we've seen this before with Arsenal. They seem like I I think Arsenal is going to win the title again, but it just seems so often with Arsenal, right? Recently that they just look like the best team in the league, and all of a sudden one or two injuries here and there, and one or two bad results, and it just whiskers off like that. So I still back Arsenal to win the title. City out of nowhere starts looking like the City of 3, 4 years back. Of course, not in terms of the squad strength and the way they're playing football, but in terms of how they're just, you know, winning games and just, like they look like they're going to challenge Arsenal for this title again. Haaland looks in incredible form, and Jeremy Doku at this point of time is amongst the best players in the league. What he did to Conor Bradley in that game, and even to like uh, Konate in that game on the left hand side, that 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 should not have been televised. How good was Jeremy Doku in that game, right? And I just think that entire City attack revolves around Haaland and Doku, and injury to either of them could affect their season. Because again, I did not predict them to finish the top four, and I said that because the defense looks shaky. I know Nico Riley had a good game. I know Matthias Nunes had a good game on the fullbacks position, but I still don't think against quality wingers they'll be able to you know uh, be the wing backs or be the wing fullbacks for a team that is trying to chase the title. I don't think so. They're good enough. Uh, but then it's Haaland's form against the league, anyone in the league, and it just looks like that at this point of time. So I think City's gonna go again. They're gonna go on a run, and I think with every City fan, they'll just be thinking, come in the end of the year, come end of Christmas, just be in touching distance uh, of the team who's at the top. Maybe it's Arsenal. I think it will be Arsenal at this point of time. But if they're there, and I think they won 2, 3 titles from that position already in the recent season. So I just think they'll be confident if they can stick around till up until say January, say come Christmas, uh, close to the top. Uh, but then the third most important team in the league should have been Liverpool this season, but I to think, just don't seem to think any positives for Liverpool. I saw that games again, see that. Manchester City game at the Etihad Stadium. I just thought they were poor. They were extremely poor for a team that is trying to go for the title. And it's not like they've been massively hit by injuries, right? They had the best players on. Uh, of course, they've sold some players. Of course, they've lost you over Jota. But I don't think at any point of time you could say a performance like that should come out of a team that has just won a Premier League title. And I, I don't. They're eighth in the league. They're behind United, which is surprising, and which is like after the spend that they had, the window that they had, you cannot be in that position. And I just don't have a lot of positive to say again about Liverpool. Florian Wirtz. I mean, I see a lot of these Twitter fans who just trying to get engagement, but I don't think he's the kind of player that you pay 100 million for. And I've said this again, time and again. You cannot buy 100 million players that are not from the Premier League to play in the Premier League because it's just a different ball game all whatsoever. And they players do not fit. You want to spend 100 million, you spend on someone who's played in the league before, right? Be it a low league team, be it a team that is not finishing in the top half, right? Just don't spend it on a German team or a player from the Spanish league or something like that. It does not work. It does not work for. I don't remember it has worked more than it has failed. So it seems like a waste of time. I still think Alexander Isak could be important to this team, and once he's back and he starts getting those goals, the attack is still good enough to get them into top four. I won't say they can challenge for the title this season the way they're playing, but definitely. I mean, if Isak gets going, Ekitike looks in good form. I like Ekitike. Salah will get back his goals at this some point of time, but I definitely think this season could be the start of transition from Mohamed Salah. And in a season like that, why would you give him a contract like what they've given? He's should not have Liverpool should not have done, but that's to discuss later. Having said that, these are the three teams that I thought could have been going for the title, but I at this point of time it looks Arsenal's titles to lose and City's to chase. And apart from that, the other few teams, I think United, of course, I feel United could still finish in the top four. I thought the last two results were a bit disappointing against Nottingham Forest and Spurs. United could have won the game, and they are the games they should have won. Right? In a season like this, when you're not playing in Europe, you're not right. You're the back of the season that you finished 15th. You need to win games like these, right, to get you those points. And these are not hard points. I don't think the point against Spurs was a hard point to get. The point against Nottingham Forest was a hard point to get, given one where Nottingham Forest were in the league, they've taken out two managers, and the one against Spurs where I think they had zero creativity and yet to concede two goals, and they had a lot of players missing. So I just think those are four bad points to drop for United, but they're still in touching distance. I think we'll just look at the league quickly and do the preview as well. But I think at this point of time, yes, I think at this point of time, United are in touching distance, if I'm being honest. Mm, mm, I think United are in touching distance at this point of time. The way the way I look at the league table at this point of time, and United are at 18 points. Still looks like a very busy middle area of the top half of the table. You look at Chelsea at 20, look at Sunderland at 19, Spurs at 18, Villa at 18, United at 18, Liverpool at 18, Bournemouth at 18, Palace at 17. So United to third point, it's like a one game difference, right? You win your game, the other team loses or drops point. United could still end up third in the table this week, right? But we've said this multiple times in the last 2 weeks where in the last two games where United were second at a point in time in those games, but just couldn't capitalize. Uh, I still think it's United could, right? United will end up in top four at the end of this week, I feel somehow. But then they need to continue this momentum, right? And I looked at United's next few games. I think it's Everton, then it's Palace, then it's I think it's Bournemouth at home, then there's West Ham, and then there's Newcastle at home. Uh, or Wolves. I think Wolves at home or away. I think so. The 4 or 5 games that United have next, right? There's a good chance United could get at least I don't know 13 points or like 12 points in the next 15. And that would mean United, if United get 12 or 13 points in the next 15, United could still easily be in the top four, right? They're like a point away from being in the top four at this point of time. And if United going to get 13, right? I don't think a lot of teams above United or just close to United in the league table will get 13 points as well. So United will climb up from their position in terms of points. So I just look at it and I just feel it's United's time to go challenge for the top four position at this point of time. The other two teams, Chelsea, I think Chelsea look really good when they're playing as the underdogs because they've got players like uh, Estao, they've got Garnacho, they've got Neto, and they're really playing well on the counter. I just think I saw that Spurs game, right? I still find it difficult with this Chelsea team because I don't see a lot of leaders in that side, especially in the attack, right? And neither at the back. You've got Reece James and you've got Kukurea, but in the middle, you're not sure who will be your center halves. And Shalobah is good. Chempong played a good game against Liverpool, but I'm not sure with their defensive line. Their midfield is strong with Caicedo in there, and I think they played Malo Gusto in there, and then you've got Enzo. So the midfield is strong, and there's the experience. Palmer will come back as well at some point of time, so that will be good for them. But I just think the attack lacks for me. They're not there at this point of time, and I could well see them. So I don't think they'll challenge for the title. Top four, I mean, it will be important to see how they play in the Champions League, right? That could affect their performance in the league, to be very honest. But yeah, so that's Chelsea. I still think that they'll have a good enough season with the squad they have. And then there's Spurs. I thought Spurs are the worst of the top six this season, right? I thought they were good at the start because they got a manager who knows how to grind results, a manager who knows structure and organization. And but I just think he's a manager who's not going to dominate games, right? He's sit back and control the game and get you a goal from a set piece or a counter attack. But I just realized with Thomas Frank, he's not an attacking manager. He's not a manager who's going to you know cut a team open, create chances like in the here and there. So I just think it's important. It's important for Spurs to, and which is why their away form is really good. I just thought of it that their away form is good because of the fact that they're not pushed to create and control the game too often. They're okay to sit back, right? Uh, be in a mid to low block and hit the teams on counter or put a long ball over the top or win through set pieces. So I just think with Spurs, I just see and the next few games, I think they look a bit difficult already. So I just think with Spurs, they're probably the worst of the top six at this point of time, with Liverpool as well, of course. Having said that, let's just get to previewing what this week has. Burnley versus Chelsea. I think Burnley are the relegation already. I think they're 70, right? They could well be in the relegation battle. I don't think it'll be difficult for Chelsea. Palmer is out again, but I still think Chelsea has enough to go and win this game. Uh, so not a lot to talk about. Of course, this is an away game, could be a bit tricky, but I just think Chelsea has enough to go and win this game, and they look in form. So I'll go Chelsea. I'll go Chelsea 2-0 or 3-0 here. I don't see a lot of goals in this from Burnley side, uh, to be very honest. So that's the first game. Then we have Liverpool versus Nottingham Forest, the next big game. The way Liverpool have been playing, you just not sure that they're gonna come up with a performance. But then this is at Anfield. This is after a break, and then you're playing Nottingham Forest, who are 19th or 18th in the table. So I just think Liverpool are gonna get the result, and it could well be a springboard for them. I think the next few games are easy games, and they could get on and get some confidence in for some of the players that are important to them, especially the likes of Florian Wirtz and Isak coming back, and the defense. And that defense needs stability as well. So I just think games like this are what Liverpool will be relying on, especially at home. Liverpool versus Forest, I think they still could concede a goal here and there. And Nottingham Forest, I saw them against United. They're a good side. They should not be in the relegation battle. But I still think Liverpool are going to be good enough for Forest. I'm going to go 2-1, not Liverpool this game. But it will be interesting to watch. Then we go Newcastle against City. Newcastle at home have been so disappointing this season. I just have this hypothesis or an understanding. In the last two times Newcastle have played in the Champions League after a good season in the league, the Premier League's form has fallen off the cliff, and they just don't seem to, get results at the start of the season, especially in the season after they finish in the Champions League spaces. And this is again the season like that. They can't seem to score goals somehow. I don't know. They got Voldemar in. They've got Ilanga in. They've got the midfield trio, which is one of my favorite midfields in the league. They've got Gordon. They've got players for it. They've got Barnes, and of course they've Danny Murphy, but somehow still not able to manage goals. And I think they're 14th in the league. They look poor at the season. And City on the other hand look extremely good. I think the most informed team in the league. So it'll be good watch. I think, but I still think away from home. But this is the kind of game that is made for Haaland and Doku. I just feel hmm, Newcastle do not have the goals in them. I'll go 2-0 to Manchester City. I just don't see a lot of goals from Newcastle, and Haaland and Doku will just get some goals somehow. So I'll go 2-0 Manchester City in this. Then we have North London derby. Spurs cannot create. Arsenal do not concede. At home for Arsenal, they look impeccable and difficult to stop. 2-0 to Arsenal, a set piece goal, maybe even two set pieces goal. I don't think Spurs can create anything at this point of time. They're missing players. I think Arsenal are also gonna miss a few players, but I still think that the bench they have two good players in every spot. So I don't think that could be a big of a problem this season. But I'll go 2-0 to Arsenal. I think they're too strong a team for Spurs at this point of time. And then we come to our final game of this week. And the most disappointing part is it is on a Monday. You wait 2 weeks for United to play, and then they're playing on a Monday night. But it's again Everton and at home. At home, I felt United look unstoppable. And you can look at all the games that they've played against. They've been the better side, and they've been comfortably the better side against every one of the sides they played. Beat Brighton, beat against Arsenal in the first wave, again beat Sunderland. So these are two really good teams in the league. And Burnley also, United carved them open, should have been 4-5-0 up in the first half. But again, so at home, United have just looked a different beast this season, and I don't think I have any trouble predicting that United are gonna win this game. The one big thing is I think they looked at it and look conceded. Where's United? United have conceded 18 goals this season. I just think that that could well be a problem for United. Everton are a good attacking side with their wingers in Grealish and Jai and I think Alcaraz looks good as well. And then they've got Garner and they've got Dewsbury Hall. I think the striker is the main problem for them in the attack areas, but I still think they've got a goal in them. I'll go 3-2 or 3-1 to United because I think they could at home they score the goals. I think most of the players are fit except Shesko, but I just think Amorim likes playing without Shesko anyway at this point of time. So yeah, I think 3-1 or 3-2 to United in this game. They do end up considering conceding a goal. But I just think United at home are a different beast. It'd be surprising if United don't turn up, but I just think it is going to be one of those games. I do like Everton. I had them seventh and as dark horses to finish in European places. But I think at home, United, no matter who United are facing, I just fancy United this season at home. So that's it for this review. We're going to do a Manchester United preview with Everton with the lineups and who uh, uh, and some of the other stories later. But that's it for the preview. Do join in. Uh, I hope to be more consistent with uh, a lack of international breaks and more games going starting from here. So do add to how you feel about the channel and also how should I change the videos going forward. So that's it for this video. We'll connect back later. And yeah, let's join in.